So how do you create content? I got asked this question just the other day, and on reflection, I think there are three things that are necessary. Number one, know what you know. Now, we're all way too humble to say that we're an expert in anything, but everyone's an expert in something. Whether it's, I don't know, whether it's engineering, whether it's accounting, whether it's driving a bus, I don't care what it is. But you know something. Number two, what do you see? So what do you see in front of you? What do you feel? What do you spiritually feel? What do you hear? So the what do you see is just being observant of what's going on around you. And number three, how can that relate to other people? So let me give you an example. So while I was talking to this friend, we were down the beach, and I noticed the light was just shimmering on a piece of stainless steel railing that was going down to a pool. And it caught my attention. And I said to him, well, that's how you can create a story. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, look at that. See that sun reflecting on the railing? He said, yeah. I said, well, you know that I talk a lot about business purpose. Yeah. So business purpose is about staying on purpose, identifying it and staying on the purpose. So the shiny light actually is a metaphor for not being distracted by the next shiny new thing. So you can write a whole story around that. So here are the 4 things or the 5 things that stop you getting distracted from the shiny new thing or distracted away from your purpose. And a story is done. A post is written. So here's another example. I was recently flying back to Australia on that horrible 16-hour flight from Dubai to Sydney, and I got bored as you do on a plane, and I thought I'd just flip through some of the channels. And one of the channels was actually a survey. So I thought, okay, I do mystery shopping. I do surveys all day, every day. Let me have a look at this survey. I opened up the survey and it was god awful. It was one of the worst surveys I've ever seen. So what do I know? Surveys, mystery shopping, but let's call it surveys. Number 2, what did I see? I saw a horrendous version of what I do in my work. Number 3, how does that relate? Well, I used that. I got the phone out and I took photos of each of the screens in this survey and then turned that into a post showing the 4 big ways that this survey failed and how small businesses can avoid those types of traps, large businesses as well. And it became one of my more popular posts. So again, what did I see? I saw this horrible survey. I know, what do I know? Surveys. And number 3, how does it relate? Well, I've got people who listen to my stuff, watch my stuff. I've got a newsletter. Even if I didn't have that, I could still put it out into the world. So it's not that difficult, but I think the first step of being so humble about considering yourself an expert is probably the hardest one of all. Know, see, relate. I'm Stephen DiPietro. Thanks for listening.